Hey guys, it's me. I'm coming to you today from inside my office, thus the fabulous mask, which is mine, and my potato, which is also a hamster. Um, I got a lot of really good response from my last video, and people sent me some questions that they wanted to hear more about and that they'd like to hear me talk about. And the one question that I really wanted to talk about today is my childhood and what it was like growing up. From my other videos, if you've watched them, then you know that I grew up in a small Mormon town in Utah. And I'm kind of gonna try and describe what that's like to grow up in a town like that when you're so different. And which brings me to another point is how did I know I was so different, and when did that start being an issue for me? So my childhood, I was born and raised in Utah, and from the time I was 4 till the time I was 18 and moved out, I lived in the same house. My first memory is in that house, and it's with one of my friends from that time in my life. She was my neighbor, and I would bring her over to my house, and we'd play house or play games and things like that 4-year-olds do. And I would take her down to our playroom, which was in the basement, and I'd go into the closet there, and she and I would trade clothes, and which was my idea. From that, from as early as I can remember in my life, I just needed to be a girl. I had to be a girl, and I couldn't tell you why. I mean, it's my first memory, and it happens to be wanting to be a girl, and it hasn't left me since. It's really been a part of my entire life, every day. So, growing a little bit older and things like that, I obviously couldn't keep doing this with my neighbor. When you get old enough and you start realizing, people are going to find out this isn't normal. That's not something that I wanted to have happened, so I stopped doing that. I don't know if she still remembers. She was a little bit younger than me at the time. But as I got older, I would collect women's clothing. And collect sounds really like Silence of the Lambs sort of thing. But I had a stockpile of women's clothing that, I would dress in my room, or when I was alone, or things like that I would get from stealing usually. Go to Kmart or something like that, and I got pretty good at stealing women's clothes. About every 6 months or so, I would go through, I guess, what some people call a purge. I felt so guilty about wanting to become a girl. I went to church every week, and it's because my parents forced me to go to church every week. And when you're being taught every day that, or every week that what you want to do and what you want to be with your life is wrong, and that you'll go to hell for that, that's really tough, and it brings a lot of guilt. And I felt really guilty for a long time about that. And so I go and I get everything, I take it all out from under my mattress or under my laundry pile where I'd hide all my stuff, and I'd throw it away and get rid of it. I promised myself that I was never going to have it again, and that I was going to try and lead a normal life. And about a week later, I'd be like, damn it, why'd I do that? I wish I had that again, because now I have to go steal more. So that was really tough, doing that. I do that about every 6 months to a year, and I got caught twice by my parents. One time I ditched school and had gone home, and I was downstairs, and I was trying on my mom's prom dress when I was in junior high, and my dad came in. Bad times. The other time, I got into drugs and things like that when I was in high school, and I guess that was a way of self-medicating and compensating for, like it made everything okay. So my parents would clean my room, or they'd go through my room and they'd find everything. And of course, when you're 16 and you think to yourself, oh yeah, under the mattress is the perfect place to hide something that I don't want my parents to find, when that's the first place that they look. And my parents found my stash. Not stash of weed or drugs, but my stash of clothing. And my dad sat me down to have a talk with me, and he said, do you know what a fetish is? And that's how we started it off. And I mean, that just really kind of goes to show what it's like to be on the outside. When people see what I do as a fetish, but it's not. It's something that's been with me since I can remember, and that's it was really tough. I really did try to be a man, but I couldn't do it. I couldn't have a relationship that lasted longer than 2 months because I couldn't play the role of a man. I hated always making the advances and being on top and all this stuff, and I thought I was gay because I wanted to be a girl and because I didn't want to, be the boy role. And I tried that, and I'm not gay as in a man loves a man, ends up I'm gay in another way. So when I was 18, I moved out, and I was able to really amass a bigger collection of clothing, and I didn't throw everything away then, since I had quit going to church and realized that this was something a little bit deeper than a fetish, and was something a little bit more lasting than sexual perversion. I met somebody online, and this goes back to my other blogs, but I met somebody who was transgendered, and until then, like, I'd seen, tranny porn, or whatever, but I thought it was photoshopped. I didn't know that stuff was real, and when I met somebody like that, I was just blown away. I said, that's what it is. That's what it is, I know it. And I was so relieved that I just came out and I told everybody. I had a coming out week, and it was so fantastic because I got to take my deepest, darkest secret ever and tell everybody. And all of a sudden that weight was gone. Anyway, this is getting long, and I'm about to run into that 10-minute time limit, but keep the questions coming, and I love hearing from you guys and knowing what you want to hear and what you want to hear from me. So stay tuned, and I'll see you later.